Hello and welcome to the February episode of Gloucester's Current Conversations podcast. I'm Quentin Shepard, Director of Gloucester's Community Engagement and Public Information Department. Today we're joined with Katey Legg, Director of the Public Utilities Department, and Katey's going to talk to us about some new infrastructure that's going to improve the customer experience for public utilities customers and also save us some money, both the customer and the county. Um, Welcome, Katey. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Some of you might remember Katey on as a guest on the podcast before, as Director of Parks, Rec, and Tourism. But just over a year ago, Katey moved over to Public Utilities. So tell us a little bit about some of the things and some of the accomplishments you've made since you've made that move.
Sure. Yeah. Well, first, I'm really excited to be here, not only on the podcast, but also in the Public Utilities Department. There's been a lot going on over these last 13 months or so. It is a little bit of a switch for me, career-wise. However, I've jumped in with both feet and just started swimming. I'm really proud of some of the progress that we've made. We've been able to progress some projects that were stalled for several years for various reasons. We've identified and are working through the multiple permits and any issues that have come up. A lot of people don't realize that public utilities hold several different permits in order to operate. And it's a very lengthy process. So I'm really glad that we've been able to identify any issues and work through them and keep us in compliance. We've also successfully obligated over $1 million in remaining ARPA funds for some much needed equipment and projects for the department. I am proud that I've been able to consistently communicate with the Board of Supervisors and the public and really keep everyone up to date on what public utilities is about, what it's doing, and any struggles that we're finding. And we've been able to work through a pretty comprehensive 10-year capital plan. This hasn't been adopted yet, and of course, budgets are allocated on a yearly basis, but really fine-tuning what those capital needs are for public utilities. And of course, we have been working through implementing AMI, which I think we're going to talk about in a little bit, as well as our new e-billing process. So there's a lot going on, and of course, there's so much more. But those are some of the big things.
Well, that's quite an impressive list for just a little bit over a year now. So, well done, Katey. We appreciate everything you're doing. And just to kind of go back, I know you mentioned ARPA funding, and just that's an acronym that a lot of us in local government are very familiar with. But for those in the public, that's American Rescue Plan Act funding. So. I think we were able to use that to purchase one of the big things is a crash truck, which is used when utilities crews have to block off a lane of traffic in order to perform work safely. I think before we were having to get with VDOT to secure one of their trucks, but now we'll have one of our own and can get moving on projects a lot quicker.
Yes, that is probably one of the projects that staff is most excited about. Securing a crash truck when you have to make a repair on a road can be very difficult, and of course costly. So we are probably a week or so away from actually receiving our own crash truck, and it will be fully outfitted with everything that we need to just set up, which can reduce our time to respond to repairs by several hours.
Awesome. Well, we'll
Yeah.
be sure to get your picture in the truck and let the public know.
I think my crew would love that.
They would, they would. So you kind of briefly mentioned this, but we're talking about two major changes today. The first, we'll go ahead and start with AMI, which I believe stands for Advanced Metering Infrastructure.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about the what we're currently using and the current process and then how this new technology is going to change, be it kind of a game changer in meter reading and utility staff productivity.
Sure. So right now, we have just over 5,200 customers in our system. So that's over 5,200 meters that we have to read every month. The way that that's done right now is our distribution crew goes out physically to every location and they hand read. So they have essentially a little wand. They have to touch it to every single meter. Those meter readings are then uploaded to a tablet and put into our system for billing. Um, this takes a crew of 6 to 8 people, at least an entire week to do, which means during that time, they're not getting to other maintenance, repair, logistical issues. Um, what that also means is that we aren't seeing if there are any leaks, whether it's on the county side or a customer side, until we read those meters. And that means that a leak could have been happening for a month, and the amount of water that could be lost that a customer could potentially be responsible for paying for hasn't been noticed in a timely manner. And that is just not efficient, not only for our staff, but for the customer from a financial perspective. So new meters are getting ready to be installed. This was a project that was started before I got here. And I sort of took the reins and I'm trying to get it fully deployed. It's been a long time coming, and these new meters will allow us to see readings at every location almost every hour. Um, so we had to install poles in several locations throughout the county, and they will read the meters on a continual basis. And it will be set up to notify our office at certain trigger points. So, for example, if you're a customer and we notice that on average you're using 4,000 gallons a month, and it triggers that you have now registered 15,000 gallons, we'll be notified so that we can send someone out there to see if there is a leak on our side or on the customer side. And being able to respond in, probably less than a day to something like that versus several weeks will save not only the county time and money, but also the customer. So those meters are actually getting ready to be replaced starting the week of February 3rd. As part of the overall project, there's a contractor that comes in. They'll be replacing them. The goal, I believe, is roughly 600 a week. So they will be working continuously throughout the county, and we hope to have all meters changed out in about 12 weeks. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's really, really exciting. And I think it's going to improve a lot of things, not only for staff, but for the customers as well.
It
So
definitely sounds like it. And just kind of a heads up, a lot of people might not have ever really paid attention to where their water meter is, but typically they are located near the end of your driveway adjacent to the public road. And I think we just kind of ask that people make sure that their vehicles or other items are not in the way over the next couple weeks for the crews to access those meters.
yes, and the contractor will be putting door hangers on customers' front doors. So if a meter has been switched out successfully, the door hanger will say, "We've been here and we've switched out your meter." That's awesome. If for some reason they were not able to access your meter, they'll put a door hanger on that says, "We weren't able to access your meter. Please call us to schedule a time so that we can come out and replace that meter for you."
Okay, great. And another heads up is once the meter has been switched out, customers might just notice a brief discoloration or some air bubbles the first time they turn their faucets on, but that should clear up pretty quickly.
Sure. So anytime you stop service to something, and it just stops that flow of water, when you restart it, you might see a little bit of settling that has happened. Or, anyone who used to be on a well knows that when your power goes out and then you have to restart it, sometimes you get those air pockets. It's the same thing.
Sure.
So if they just run the faucet for a couple of minutes, that should flush it on through and be good to go.
Great. And if anybody has any specific questions related to the meter switch out, they can always call Public Utilities at 804-693-4044 or
Yes.
email publicutilities@gloucesterva.info. And we'll be sure to include that contact information in the description of the podcast. Also, all of this information can be found on the county's website at gloucesterva.gov and on our social media pages. Um, so that's definitely exciting. We always love to see when we can save our residents and the county money. So the next exciting thing is a new public portal so that utilities customers can access their account and their usage in real time.
So, yeah, we actually have a couple of different things. So, the AMI project will come with its own portal.
Okay.
And so those won't be available for customers until the entire project is done. Just the way that the system works. That way they can work through any kinks in the system, and then we'll be able to share that information with customers. And in that portal, they will be able to see their usage in real time, just like we will.
Okay.
Um, but from the other side is the new e-billing process. So we work with a third-party contractor to print and mail all of the utility bills. And it is a frustration for customers and for staff when the mail isn't delivered in a timely manner.
Mhm.
And sometimes that brings on additional fees, whether it's late fees or whatnot, because a customer hasn't received their bill. And um, it's been a goal of ours to make this a little bit more efficient. And so we've been working with this same third party who offers an e-billing option. This is actually going to be implemented starting in February. Notices will go in the bills that are coming out soon, and customers can sign up for this portal and actually receive their bills electronically via email. If they wish, they can still get them printed as well. But anyone like me, I prefer to just get it electronically.
Yeah.
And they can sign up in this portal. They can review their bills month over month over month. And it will also link them to payment options. So online payment options are not changing. They will stay exactly as they are now, which are all the online options are all managed through the treasurer's office. So you can pay by credit card, you can pay by check. You can also pay by auto draft, which means that you don't actually have to do anything except sign up one time. And the treasurer's office will, when they receive the file that says this is how much the bill is on that specific day of the month, they will just auto draft that amount from the customer's account,
Okay.
um, which makes it even more efficient.
Absolutely.
So notices will be going out in the bill. There will be a QR code right on that notice. So a customer can just scan it and sign up right there from their phone. We'll also have a link on our website. It's a fairly straightforward process, and I want to give some major props to our office staff because they've been working on this for months and just testing every aspect of it to make sure that it is as informative and customer friendly as possible.
Awesome. Well, we definitely look forward to that and definitely appreciate you and your dedicated staff that have been working behind the scenes to get both of these projects up and running to help make things as easy as possible for the customer and for the county. So, thank you for all of this information. Is there anything that we missed, Katey? Any other big picture items that you wanted to share with us before we wrap up for today?
No, I think these are some really exciting projects that outwardly affect the customer, and I think will improve their experiences. But as always, if anyone has any questions, our customer service staff is amazing.
They are.
Please just give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Great. And again, we'll put all of that information in the description of the podcast, but just as a reminder, you can call the Public Utilities Office Mondays through Fridays during
Mhm.
regular business hours at 804-693-4044 or email publicutilities@gloucesterva.info. Also, all of this information and any information you'd like to find out on public utilities is available through the county website, gloucesterva.gov. Thank you again, Katey, for taking your time today. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll have you back soon.
I look forward to it.
Thank you.